Hey guys, today I want to show you my recipe for a diabetes-friendly smoothie. I'm Diana, I'm a registered dietitian, and I'm also a certified diabetes care and education specialist. A lot of people with type 2 diabetes are often told they need to avoid smoothies altogether because it can raise their blood sugar. However, if done correctly, you can build a smoothie that is good for you and also good for your blood sugar. The problem with many store-bought smoothies or smoothies made at home is that they tend to be very fruit heavy and not well balanced. So that's one of the key secrets to making a healthy smoothie, is to really make sure you're including all 3 macronutrients, making sure you're getting enough fiber in there, and making sure you're not overloading it with too many carbohydrates. I'm a big fan of smoothies because it's a great way to get in a ton of nutrients quickly, especially if you're short on time. So here's how I build my smoothie, and I'm gonna give you little tips and tricks to make it even more blood sugar friendly if you're worried about some of the ingredients. All right, so first we're gonna start off with some fruit, which is gonna be kind of like the base of our smoothie. And one of the best bases is gonna be bananas, because it's gonna give your smoothie a creamy texture and it's also gonna add a bit of sweetness to your smoothie. So what I like to do is, once my bananas are ripe, I'll unpeel them and just put them in a bag and keep them in my freezer. So we'll use 1 frozen banana. And if you're worried about bananas spiking your blood sugar, you can do half a banana, or one hack that I like to recommend is freezing slightly greener bananas or a little bit more underripe bananas. It's gonna have more resistant starch, meaning it's gonna have less digestible carbohydrates, so it'll have less carbs that we can actually digest and absorb into our bloodstream. So we're gonna go with 1 whole banana in this case. We also have a whole YouTube video dedicated just on how to eat bananas if you have type 2 diabetes, so definitely check it out. Next, we're gonna add some berries. Now, the reason we're gonna add berries is because, number 1, they're lower on the glycemic index compared to other fruit. And what that means is that it's gonna have less of an impact on your blood sugar compared to other fruit. So the glycemic index is basically just a measure of how quickly something raises your blood sugar. And berries in general tend to score pretty low on the glycemic index. So we're gonna do about half a cup of blueberries. Berries are also very rich in antioxidants, which are very powerful for reducing inflammation in our body. And people with type 2 diabetes tend to have higher levels of inflammation. Now we have a great base of healthy carbohydrates, we want to add some protein to this. So my favorite protein is Complement protein powder. It's clean, it tastes really good, it's tested for potency and purity. I highly recommend it. If you want to see a whole video of why we like it so much, definitely check it out. 3 tablespoons of this protein gets you about 15 grams of protein, which is perfect. So I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons. And by adding a protein, we're making this more well-balanced. Like if we just did fruit, it wouldn't be very balanced. It would just be a little too carb heavy. We wanna make sure we're balancing it. And when we balance our macronutrients, when we include all of our macronutrients in a meal, it's gonna be more blood sugar friendly. If you didn't want to do protein powder, another great option that works well in smoothies is going to be a yogurt. Just make sure it's unsweetened and non-fat. All right, so now that we've added our healthy carbs and our protein, we're going to do some healthy fats and fiber. And chia seeds are honestly one of my favorite seeds because they are so high in fiber. And fiber is so important, especially if you have type 2 diabetes, for so many reasons. And I'll just talk about a few. Number 1, it helps to slow down the absorption of carbs in that meal. So if you think about it, fiber acts kind of like a matrix, kind of like a wall, where it slows down carbs from entering our bloodstream and makes things enter our bloodstream at a much slower pace. So fiber is just so great for our short-term blood sugar, but it also has really good effects for our long-term blood sugar as well. People who consume enough fiber and have high fiber diets actually have a lower risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, obesity, and tend to have a healthier body weight. And fiber also just works so well because it helps to fill us up and keep us full for longer. And there's also so many gut health improvements that come along with eating a lot of fiber. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon of chia seeds. The amazing thing about chia seeds is that for about a tablespoon of chia seeds, it has about 5 grams of carbs, but 4 of those grams are fiber. And remember, fiber isn't digested in our body. We can't digest or absorb fiber, and it serves as fuel for our gut bacteria. That's why there's so many health benefits to eating fiber. So you're really only having one digestible carbohydrate with a tablespoon of chia seeds. So that's why I love adding chia seeds to smoothies or to yogurt, because it really does increase the fiber without necessarily increasing the carbohydrates too much. Chia seeds are also an excellent source of plant-based omega-3s. So now we've completed all 3 macronutrients. We have our healthy carbohydrates in the fruit. We've got some protein in the protein powder and healthy fats in our chia seeds. Now we want to add some veggies. So smoothies are such a great way to sneak in like 1 to 2 servings of vegetables. And one of the best veggies to add to your smoothies is spinach. I promise you do not taste it. So what I like to do is I buy just a bag of spinach and then I keep this in the freezer. If you need to wash it, make sure you wash it first, but then just keep it in your freezer so it lasts a very long time. So this is such a great way to get in a serving of dark leafy greens. I'm just gonna do about a handful, which is probably around a cup. And I'm gonna be generous about it. Nice big handful, because I promise you don't taste it. All the other ingredients mask the flavor of the spinach. And I find that spinach blends really well compared to other greens like kale. Other veggies that work really well in smoothies are frozen cauliflower, even frozen broccoli works well, and zucchini. So those are all veggies that you could sneak into your smoothie, and I promise you won't taste it. And adding veggies to your smoothie is another way to increase the fiber. And again, the more fiber we can include in this smoothie, the better it's gonna be for our blood sugar. All right, next up, we're gonna do some herbs and spices. First up is ginger. Now, ginger is amazing because it has a lot of anti-diabetic effects. I'm doing about a 1-inch thumb of ginger. You could do more, you could do less, depending on your preference for ginger. I love ginger, so I like to be generous about it. There's research to show that ginger can improve insulin sensitivity, it can improve fasting blood sugar, it can improve HbA1c. So there's a lot of good evidence showing how powerful ginger can be for blood sugar. So you could do fresh or you could do dried. I love the taste of fresh. But dried works as well. I haven't done it with dried, so I'm not sure what it tastes like in a smoothie. I do recommend fresh, but you want to aim for about a teaspoon of dried if you are doing it that way. Okay, so next we're gonna add some cinnamon, and you can kind of do however much you want. Depending on how much you like cinnamon, you could do it a lot or a little. I like it a lot. But cinnamon has a lot of great blood sugar benefits as well, especially post-meal blood sugar. So adding cinnamon to your meals can help with those post-meal blood sugar levels. Okay, and lastly, this is kind of a bonus. You don't have to do this, but I find that it's easy to add, doesn't take that much extra work, and it can have a lot of great benefits. It's gonna be turmeric, and this is fresh turmeric. I just peeled it and I'm gonna add it. You don't even actually need to peel it. You could just add it as is. But the active ingredient in turmeric is called curcumin, and curcumin has really potent anti-inflammatory effects. So again, like I mentioned before, people with type 2 diabetes tend to have more inflammation in their body. And so curcumin and turmeric can really help fight that inflammation. And I know this might seem weird, but one of the best ways to increase the absorption of curcumin, because ordinarily curcumin isn't absorbed very well in our body, but adding a black pepper can increase the absorption by over like 2,000%, which is crazy. And I promise you don't taste the black pepper. We're just adding very little. You don't need that much at all, but we're just gonna add a little just to increase that absorption of that curcumin. All right, so now we're gonna add a liquid so that we can blend this all up. I generally like to use soy milk because it adds more protein. So we're getting about 15 grams of protein from the protein powder, and then we're getting a little protein from the chia seeds. And this will just help round it up to 20 grams of protein. Half a cup has about 4 grams. And so if we did half a cup to a cup, we'll definitely get there. We want our meals to be somewhere in between 15 and 30 grams of protein. So I'm doing about a little more than half a cup. I also will add water as well so that I'm not going through so much soy milk. And here's where you can add more or less water depending on how thick or thin you want your smoothie to be. I tend to like mine a little on the thicker side, so I'm not gonna add too much liquid. All right, now we're gonna blend this up. right, guys, it's done blending. Now let's pour. Okay, may not look the prettiest, but I promise you, it tastes delicious. You guys, please try it. I promise, even with the ginger, even with the turmeric and the pepper and the spinach, it tastes delicious. The protein powder, the berries, the bananas, they really do mask those other flavors. So another tip, when you are drinking this, drink it slowly and mindfully. The slower you drink it, the slower it's gonna enter your bloodstream and impact your blood sugar. So take your time drinking your smoothie, really enjoy it. I even tested my blood sugar before and after drinking the smoothie using a CGM, and I had a beautiful blood sugar response to this. If you want more diabetes-friendly breakfast ideas, definitely check out our video on this topic. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every single week.